Sorry about the clickbait, but it's sort of true, and I have my editor made it because it's going to be my last Awakener review before the surgery in 2 weeks, I think, unless it's delayed. So, I have nothing but positive praise for Zoo. She is one of the best designed units in Arc 2 as a support. She's one of the best. I would say she's one of the best designed units in the game. Nothing with praise for her. I have her E0 and I tested her at Whale. And she's so good that they're going to lose money. I see no reason to pull more copies of her. Because she's great at E0. This is what I'm talking about on tier list. We need more of this. But they're going to lose money because she doesn't need dupes. And dupes help her a lot. So I'm going to go over my testing and all my videos. So this is my replays. So I tested her for the past couple of hours in a bunch of comps. So completely A5, alert 5, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I don't need any more. She's great as is. So, before I get into the kit review, I'm going to be a bit more calm, okay? You guys, a bit more calm, maybe. So, yeah. She is fine. This is what I used to clear A5. All of them. So, I'm going to show you a bit of clips later on. But everything about her is just great. Her con is high. She has one of the highest con values in the game. I think it is the highest con value. Yeah. She is the highest con value in the fucking game. Like, this alone makes her a better Karen. So, where I place her on my general tier list, unfortunately, I love her. I want to put her in A. However, I'll put her in B, A pending. If another poison unit releases that synergizes real, if another good poison unit comes out, I'll gladly move her up to A on the general tier list. But right now she's B, because right now I'm uncomfortable placing her higher than Pikmin, because Pikmin is also in B, and there's only gonna be a certain number of units in A. So she's a poison unit. There's not a lot of poison comps. So without further ado, before I go over the kit, let me go over all the current meta poison comps, which I pre-recorded right now. In the lead up to Zoo being released, I did some testing to showcase the current meta poison teams. Now, if you know anything about the game, if you aren't an Ultra player, you know that the strongest poison team at the moment, technically speaking, is Blue 24, but it's dead. Why is it dead? Gene Murphy killed it, because Gene Murphy requires roughly the same supports, and you can use it elsewhere. So, currently this is the strongest, however, you can't not really use this with Zoo. And you should see in the footage how much damage it does. Again, I compared all the poison teams at level 90. This is how much damage a full 24 poison does, how much poison stack on a good turn. I did this with Monchi way back. I used old footage here. So this is 70 whatever thousand poison. So let's talk to them about the next comp. Next, we're going to showcase the other poison, which is Blue Will. Again, unlike that, this is just a single total card, but I did, double up with Hamel, so just the same. It's a little less than that, but she's more flexible.
Now we're going to...
But all tests are done with level 90.
Here we go, 69,000 points.
Now,
that's good.
Next unit we're going to showcase is Daffodil. Again, she's also level 90 with her O result. I use Pikmin to simulate the strength gain. You don't need the Pikmin here, just anyone that builds strength over time. But I was lazy, and his strength, his cards is going to simulate strength. So I built up the strength and use it, because Daffodil, as you all know, or should know if you watch my content, have a 3x to 5x strength multiplier or more, depending on which options you get on her Excel. Now, her oversoul generates 3 poison cards compared to 1. So this is with 3 cards played, and you can see how much damage each individual card does in poison. One Daffodil poison card is equivalent to a Twill Overexalt poison card, as I showed earlier in the video. And it's obviously, both of them obviously get shit on by 24. It's without question. You saw the footage. So this is how much a full Daffodil combo did. And I did this twice in a row. So you're going to see 2 clips. It's actually 2 different instances. So I'd reset it and I did it again. Showcase is not a fluke. You know how strong Daffodil Poison is. And we're going to go on to the next. Again, those are the meta poison comps. Okay, now I'm going to show you why all of those, I'm not going to touch on other units. The next best thing is a Liz. And I also got a Liz, level 90. The same comp as Daffodil to showcase the difference. But it's a standard unit. But yeah, that's why Liz is pretty low on the tier list. So this is also level 90 with the best wheels, etc. Now, unlike with Daffodil, I cannot scale strength as hard with a Liz because her entire thing, you know, is she fills your hands with her fucking useless cards. So you can't really get that many chromophages to proc off unless you're doing it on purpose. So that's just one of the flaws of running Liz here. Okay, you're wondering, that's weird. How come every poison comp seemingly ends up at roughly the same amount of poison value? The R2 nerfs to poison counter. Granted, poison and counter both got a heavy buff for Annie. The 24 equip was done before the buff took place, so she actually does a little bit more damage than poison right now. How much? I am too lazy to retest it. That is the footage. It just changes the cap. It does not affect how much damage she actually does. So right now, the cap is 3,000% your max HP for permanent poison, or 9,000 for stack up to temporary. So with 3,000, say you have 2,215 health, you end up with, let's see, it's 66,450 poison. And for the 9,000 cap, that's 199,000 poison. It's just easy math here. So that's how much if you have 2,215. Sorry, I'm English is not my first language here. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Okay, that's how much poison you get normally, but yeah. So if you go over that every turn, it's halved, etc., until it reaches that number. So all poison comps, regardless of how powerful they are, generally ends up at the same amount of poison as all of them. The only thing that matters is how fast you get there. And that's where trigger units like Zoo comes into play. So, yeah. Now let's go over every other support poison trigger units in the game. So let's start with the Chaos Realm. First off, we got Nymph. Trigger on Exalt. Next, we got Lily. Trigger on Strike to Protect, and OE Exalt generates more Strike to Protect. Next, let's go G-Doll. Trigger, turn end with her Rouse. Instead, trigger 50% poison all enemies on turn end. This is one of the strongest trigger because you don't have to do anything. It just automatically triggers. That's why the G.Doll comp works. So let's go into Blue Realm. Now, what are the trigger poison effects in Blue Realm? First off, Miriam. Miriam's Red Stance Exalt. 100% poison trigger. Next. Pharaohs. Pharaoh's Rouse. Poison trigger. Useless. Let's go into Caro Realm. Agrippa. Strike defense with a certain Enlighten. It is E2, 10% poison trigger. Very small. Nothing else poison triggers, not her. Nope, defense. Defense, 25% poison trigger on Liz. On her E2. And that's roughly it. So now that you saw all that, one of the big benefits of her is you can just ignore her kit, but let's go over her poison kit and how it works. Now, she doesn't generate a lot of poison on her own unless you whale her out. Even then, she loses to current poison units. I'll show you clips of that in a little bit. However, her main benefit is her Exalt here. Gain 3 Rift. This is the same as Karen's Exalt, but it has more effects, and this strength down effect is quite nice. I might level this up later. Now, let me go into my E0 testing versus Whaled Out. I borrow the Whale, and I use E0. So, let's go get started. So, underinvested, level 60, her poison generation is quite low. As you see here, it's only around 200 on her 2-cost card, and her Exalt only does like 300 poison, which is garbage. She has one of the lower poison generations in the game. But if you whale her out, you're going to see a level 90 Zoo right now. You see that she generates 1,200 poison. And a decent chunk of poison, level 90. This is plus 12, fully invested, fully whaled out. So it's about a difference of six times. A 6 times difference between underwhaled and whaled. However, she's not a whale unit. You know why? It's still fucking garbage compared to any other poison comp. Any other poison comp I showed beforehand, see how much poison they generated? So even if you have a level 90 Zoo, she does generate enough poison, as you see here, to clear mob waves on alert 5 easily on a whaled out Zoo. However, she cannot solo carry a wave without a poison generator. Like a good poison, a person that applies the poison itself. Because her poison application is generally non-existent, even when whaled out. Because as you see right now, this is level 90 Zoo. And this is my level 70 OEG doll. Now you see my OEG doll generates so much more poison off one card versus Zoo did fuck all, level 90, whaled out. Yeah. So that is one of her weaknesses, but that's a good thing. I want more supports that don't care. I want more. She is great because she's a support that supports that specific mechanic. Now, what poison comps should you run with fucking Zoo? Well, the strongest one currently, and I'm pretty sure they did this on purpose, is Daffodil OE banner currently. As I'll show here. That she can generate 74,000 fucking poison every time she OEs. And that's probably the highest and fastest and easiest way to do it. And you'll see here how easily I clear the waves with Daffodil, how much poison I do, etc, etc. And then you can just help her trigger and proc with her 3 costs and whatnot. Also, remember the resonance effect of Zoo. After you play 3 cards from another Awaker, it triggers. An important thing to know about the resonance effect. You don't want to play Zoo cards when you're playing other Awaker's card. If you play a Zoo card in between other Awaker's cards, it resets the resonance effect, if you know what I mean. So you have to play like 3 cards from other units and then there's the Zoo card. One of the good things about her, you don't need to rouse her at all. The rouse helps a lot. The rouse, don't get me wrong, rouse is good, but she's not important to rouse. So you can just ignore Zoo and just use her for her Exo. Just use her whenever. You don't need dupes, you don't need ending on Zoo. She can be a health buff. She can be whatever. She can just exist. And she'd be better than most of the units in the fucking game at the current point. Oh my fucking gosh, I'm fucking dumb, dude. Holy shit. I didn't record my Salvador run. It's just the fucking thing here. So, I was I did a A5, wave 5 with Zoo Salvador. Just show it's done. I'm gonna go on to another. You don't have to pull for her wheel. This is what I was gonna get. I recorded a clip, but now you're gonna get the scuffed version. Sorry. Use Karen wheel on her if you don't want to pull her wheel. Why? It restores HP equals to 20% of wielder's constitution plus blah 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 equal to wielder's constitution for each remaining arithmetica. Guess what? She has big con. Big con. Use that on her. Heals up a lot if you want to use her in a non-Karen comp. Now, why did I say Salve? Salve wants HP. I will do a stream right after this, a short stream, and I will do the run again and take like an hour or two off my life because this is still a really slow comp. But the premise is you stall forever and HP helps out. Just ignore it because you get like huge HP value. So let's just show you here. I'm not going to do the actual run here. I want to continue on with the video because people complain I need to make my videos slightly shorter. So I'm just going to put this on and whatever. This is just to show you how much HP. So with this on my account, if you have all level 90, I think you can get to 4,000 HP. So yeah, this is your big HP bar, the big cock, everything. So I did this clear A5 just within level 60 E0. But if you get everyone level 90, I think it hits close to 4K. And in case you guys don't know, the bigger your HP pool, the faster salve scales. So yeah, that is basically it. The bigger your HP pool, the faster salve scales. If you know how Salvador works, it's the easiest fucking comp in the game. You can't fuck it up on your unless you're a fucking ultra player, okay? Again, this was my run. Where's my replay code? That's not. Do I have it? Copy replay. Whatever, I'll share the replay code if you want to watch this fucking run. But yeah, I was no close to dying, and it did a ton of damage, scales really fast. So let's continue on with the rest of the video. So one of the things you're going to see a lot of people do in speed runs now with Poison, because you now speed run with Zoo Poison with E0. You don't need any dupes to speed run over. I'm going to show you Casey why. I'm going to meme. I memed hard. So hopefully people watched this far. But this card is 80% trigger poison. So with Thai Zoo, you can just dupe this. This is why Thighs is S tier and Zoo unfortunately is not. You can just trigger poison. And rather than be boring and just show you doing it on bosses which has, you know, too little HP for it to matter, I memed. I will show you how I meme to demonstrate how strong she is. E0. So, what I did was Karen Poison. I borrowed a level 80 Karen, and I used my level 62 E0 Zoo. And I brought the calf along, just to look pretty, to get past the mob waves. So I was able to clear the wave 1 A5 boss using Karen Poison and Zoo with Thighs. So without playing any hyperflare, I didn't hyperflare a single time. I just used Calf's defenses on the boss. I just got to the boss and I memed on the boss to just show you how strong she is with trigger poison and how worthless her poison generation is. That a Karen Poison outgenerates a Zoo. Karen Poison, I'm just showing you, like, she can synergize with any other poison unit. Because any other poison units, a Karen, for example, generates more poison than Zoo faster. But she can trigger, and you can use Thighs to dupe, and you can clear A5 bosses. So people are going to showcase it with premium units? No. I'm using a Karen, okay? Yeah, Karen, her fucking little marvelous cuisine, you know? Yeah, it's not optimal, but it can clear. This is what I do. Rather than being a fucking idiot and just showing you, I'm going to show you the very minimum investment. See? You don't need all that. Just use the Karen poison, okay? What are you doing using Daffodil? Using G-Doll? What are you, a fucking loser? No. Marvelous cuisine. Marvelous cuisine over and over and over. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're using a Daffodil OE? Just get to the boss somehow using Karen. And eventually, with enough Marvelous Cuisine and Zoo's strength down and all of her beneficial debuffs, you will eventually kill the boss. Why are you using real DPS when you have a nice Karen here? So yeah, she's very, very strong. Zoo is very strong. Just need some other source of poison that's not her. It could be your fucking dying grandma. She's probably poisonous. You can be your poison applier, okay? You know why? Because she generates fuck all for poison, even if you wail her out. Like, if you don't shower, like fucking Asmongold, for 10 weeks, or whatever, you will generate more poison than Zoo. But she can take advantage of it. See, that's her whole thing. That's why she's good support. She takes advantage of you being a fucking degenerate, like at any Magic the Gathering tournament, okay? Like at any Warhammer 40K tournament. And don't think I'm out of line. I've been to these places. I'm a fucking nerd, okay? What are you? Are you guys pretending you're not fucking nerds watching this fucking video? You're watching a fucking guide for a gacha, you fucking nerd. Okay? We're all fucking nerds here. If you're not a nerd, get the fuck out of my channel, okay? What the fuck are you doing here? Get the fuck out. You don't belong here, okay? You don't belong here. You're a fucking normie, okay? You know what I'm talking about when I say, like, poisonous and Warhammer 40K conventions, okay? You know what I'm talking about at your local games workshop. You guys went to a game workshop, a fucking trading card workshop, anything, and they have policies on deodorant. They need those. Some people need them. You've never been traumatized walking into a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament? No? If you've never been traumatized going to these fucking places, these conventions, and witnessing the fucking stench and odor of these fucking degenerates, then you aren't welcome, okay? You're not welcome here, okay? You're fucking normie. Lastly, we have the traditional G-Doll Wave 3 boss. Now, E0 Zoo can easily replace Agrippa in this. Which is funny. Because, you know my rants about fucking Agrippa needs a partner? Well, Zoo is so good that she replaces Agrippa in the G-Doll Poison Cup. I find this the fucking funniest thing ever. Like, Agrippa needed a fucking poison teammate, and she ended up being fucking replaced. Because you need Nymph for the key flare, another source of weakness and bone. Because G-Doll's not enough for boss fights generally, and Agrippa's kit, while synergizing well with poison, the trigger's only 10%. Zoo can already trigger 80% on her own. She does buff Agrippa, but you kind of need the Nymph, you kind of need the Feint and the G-Doll for the traditional G-Doll Wave 3 boss fight. So, it's like you finding someone for your workplace. Everyone's like, let's say you're starting out, you're working, and management tells you to train up someone. Yeah, Zoo is fucking Agrippa's replacement. Agrippa's like the long-term office employee, like McDonald's worker, and she naively is training her fucking intern, and only for her intern to fucking replace her in the office, and she gets fired and laid off, and now she's fucking eating outside of a dumpster. That's what happened to Agrippa in the G-Doll team. I'm probably gonna dumpster Agrippa. I'm sorry, Agrippa. I love your kit, but I'm sorry it turned out this way. Zoo doesn't have a real poison teammate yet. So she's just taking your job, okay? She's just taking your job in the G-Doll Comp Wave 3 for me. I know you worked very hard, Agrippa. I know you've been with me for these past couple of months in D-Tide, and I've been using you. But I feel like you're not a good fit for the Flares company. You're not a good fit for the holy spreadsheet, the holy team comp. You're not a good fit. E0 Zoo will take your place. You can just retire, okay? You can just retire to the bench with fucking Clem and Pollux. You can just sit there and I wouldn't say it looked pretty. I was gonna say it looked pretty, but let's be honest here. You're a fucking spider freak. So yeah, just go there without the other creatures with Clem. You fucking dirty insects or arachnids. Okay, just get over there. Okay, Zoo is now my G-Dog team. I'm sorry. It's cost cutting. You know, the economy. The economy is going down. The fucking Lemurian tariffs and fucking. I don't know, Grappa. You're looking kind of like an alien. I mean, if Lemurian Ice visits my fucking D-Tide teams, you're gonna have to be out. I cannot afford any interruptions on my D-Tide business, Agrippa. Okay, final notes. Should you pull for her wheel? Sure. It's good. The automatic embryo fusion is good, but you can just use Karen's wheel. She's one of the cheapest Awakers to use. Like, you just need one copy of her to make your poison team work. Now, you can get more dupes of her. If you want to go for dupes of her, E3 is a good place to stop. But E1, You think this is good embryo fusion plus 15%, but this is 15% plus 1% every point, every 1% of the damage amp is point whatever. But Bone Sick Longing, it's already resonance. If you trigger the resonance, it's already embryo fusion 50%. I don't need to explain math to you. This is such a small buff. This does not matter. This is nice. It's not needed. You don't need to exalt on her all the time. You just put her on her team. This is the only thing that really matters. Even her overexalt is whatever. And I love that. This is one of the cheapest units in Arc 2. I almost placed her A tier. However, I am not going to. Because she does have weaknesses, such as I say about the whole generation. Despite being able to meme A5, E0, I rate units based on relative. So right now on my tier list, on the general, Caster is better. Winkle is more universal and is a standard. Horla is better. Ramona is more universal and she's a welfare unit. Miriam is very good, goes in Lobfield, Alienist generation, and she's a poison. Murphy has that, it reduces damage by way more than Zoo does on her Exalt. So yeah, all of these units in A tier is better than Zoo currently. And Pikmin right now, Pikmin was in A tier. I moved him down because of G Murphy. And you cannot really say she's S tier, because look at all these heavy hitters in S tier. So she's going into B tier. However, if there's an additional poison unit that releases in the future, she might go to A tier if she synergizes extremely well with them. Extremely well. But right now, she's a great unit. B tier. It's just because there's so much competition in support right now. I love her. But I'm not going to let how much I love her dictate where I put her on the tier list. Because it's unfair for Caster to be seen in the same place as Zoo, okay? Caster's like a high-rolling man, okay? Zoo right now does not measure up to the people in A tier. One day she will. One day she'll overcome. So that concludes my video, and I wish you all luck. I will post updates. Before I end the video, and the music video is going to play, before I end my video, I am going to interview with a CN content creator in a few days. So I posted a YouTube post. but comment below what you want to ask the CN community, whether it's fan fiction, their waifu tier list, etc. What do they want? I have some questions already because I'm preparing my questions because he does not speak English really well, but I don't speak English already. It's not my first language either. So we'll bind. So he's been a lurker on my channel for a while. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna. And if it's popular, the interview is popular, I will also ask the JP content creators and the Korean content creators. Because I do know a KR content creator and a JP content creator watches my channel for some fucking reason, dude. And I do have them messaged, so yeah. So post your questions below, and let's start it with music video.
Smoke still trailing like a vow. Porcelain skin catching moonlight, raven hair spilling slow. I smile and the air tilts, jasmine falls into the night. Hush and I'll pull you close in place, Nirvana's kiss upon your lips. My fingers trace the map of one across your a tincture of velvet and venom that turns your breath to song. You lean, you listen, you forget the world you came from. A bone sick longing keeps you spellbound, and I hold you here too long. I am true, my kind over 200. Feel it press against your will. Tide that pulls you under, soft and still. A fanny seal kiss upon your lips, a binding breath that tastes like bliss. My love is venom, warm and slow, a silky kiss blade at night. Spellbound, you drink my poison, taste the slow undoing of your bones. You wither in my arms, a hollow echo calling only first of my kind in the Caro halls, a new song in lacquered light. My breath is a slow contagion, a blight that spreads from dusk to dawn. I poison crowns and courtyards, kingdoms rot and crumble to my tomb. You trade your fate for one more look, one whispered promise on the wind. My venom tastes like midnight tea, slow, sweet and long. I hum the lullaby that keeps you wanting, keeps you wrong. I am still my card over 200. Feel it press against your that pulls you under, soft and still. A fanny sealed kiss upon your lips, a binding breath that tastes like bliss. My love is venom, warm and slow, a silk-kissed blade at night.
Lay's got 7 do calm, paper palm, pale and gone. Puff, push, she peels, she please, she flees. Brittle little rattle and rust crease, crack, collapse on the breeze. Who's con over 200, crown born, not a runt, not dog shit. Legit grit, grit, lit, fit, iron line, tighten the grip, crush, shush, turn your pride to spit.
I am true, my con over 200. Feel it press against your will. Con over 200, a tide that pulls you under, soft and still. Spellbound, you drink my poison, fade to withered bones and dust. Held in my constitution, you become a victim of your lust. I taste the hush of men who come, their names like fallen leaves. I feed on longing, lace it with venom, water watch their daylight leave. Spellbound and silent, they crumble into echoes I command. I gather crowns and hearts alike devour